Not every urge is necessarily a calling to move forward. Not every urge is guidance. So how can you tell the difference between something that is calling you to move and something that is calling you to ignore it or be still? Let's talk about that. After a long winter season, something interesting happens. We start to feel the stirrings to move again, to take action again, to move forward again. This is the time we need to be uber discerning so that we are not acting on the wrong ideas or the right ideas at the wrong time. This is where discernment and inner knowing and trusting yourself really comes in. So when you're coming out of a season of waiting or isolation or a wilderness season or even just winter, as we are now approaching spring, it's very normal to feel that restlessness. Restlessness is a sign that there is excess energy that wants to move. This is the time to really nail down on what is it that I really want to create. Am I moving for the sake of moving? Or am I creating something sustainable, worthwhile, true and authentic here? Restlessness can also lead to this kind of impulsive action taking or moving in a direction that is actually counterproductive. So this is the time to notice that and to sit with it, because actually what is interesting about restlessness is that it always has something to say. Restlessness is never silent. There's always something underneath restlessness. And sometimes the solution is not necessarily just taking action straight away or moving or acting on whatever it is that you feel called to act on, but it is sitting with the restlessness and asking questions. Whenever I felt restless in my life, I know there's something going on underneath. I know there's something that's unconscious in me that wants to come into conscious awareness. And it's worthwhile sitting with that and discovering what that is before you move forward, because then you will have a lot more awareness, a lot more clarity before just acting out of the blue and acting out of feeling rather than knowing. We want to act out of knowing, not just feeling, because feelings can lead us astray. So this is your invitation to sit with the feelings, sit with restlessness before you move forward so that you really know what's going on rather than just acting or moving for the sake of moving. I want to distinguish here between impulses and guidance. So an impulse will often feel rushed, impatient. This is something that is urgent. It has to happen now. You have to get moving. And ultimately that comes from fear. It comes from lack. It comes from not having enough, not feeling enough, it doesn't come from wholeness. It doesn't come from essence. It's not divine guidance, basically. Divine guidance will always feel peaceful. It may bring up curiosity, but it doesn't bring up this feeling of rush. I need to rush. I need to hurry. This is urgent. It needs to ASAP. Things are too slow. Divine guidance is not like that. So as you approach a new season of movement, ask yourself, where are my ideas, inspirations coming from? Do they feel urgent? Or do they feel calm, peaceful? Because if they feel calm and peaceful, it's much more likely that this is divine guidance. This is guidance that you can safely act upon. But if you feel there's some rush, there's some urgency, that's probably an impulse, right? That's a fear-based impulse. And you would be wise to take a step back and sit with that and ask yourself, what is really going on here? Is this ready to move, or am I just forcing movement because I'm scared? You don't want to force movement because you're scared, because the truth is, we cannot force anything. Like I spoke about in my previous video, Readiness Reveals Itself, you can check that out here. But when something feels urgent, that's not divine guidance. That's the difference between impulses and guidance. And it's very wise to slow down enough so that you can distinguish and differentiate between the two. When something is truly meant for you, when it's a calling, it will not stop calling you. It's not urgent. It's not, restricted by seasons. It's a permanent calling. It's an essence that's within you that it's not season-based necessarily. So it can show up more in certain seasons than others, of course, but it's not this emotional intensity of urgency. That doesn't fit in there. So ask yourself, if something remains over time without this emotional intensity and without this urgency and this fear-based motivation, is it still there? And if it is still there, that is a sign that it's more linked to your calling. Whereas if it's just, rush, have to hurry, that's not. If it doesn't turn into this more calm, peaceful, keep calling you, then it's not. That's not it. That's not divinely inspired guidance. So when you want to take action, when you want to move, when you want to act out on whatever it is that you're working on, slow down enough to feel the difference, because this is really key. Because if something is a calling, it will remain over time and it won't feel like you need to rush it. And remember, anything worthwhile, anything truly good, for it to bear fruit, it has to have this steady, calm base underneath that is true to your essence. Because if it doesn't, if it's just coming from this fear-based motivation or ego or whatever, it will not last. You may get some results, but it's not going to be sustainable over time. It's not, because the foundation is all wrong. So it's better to take a pause and see what is remaining if I slow everything down, right? That's more worthwhile than rushing ahead on something that may not be aligned for you, because it's more important to be in alignment than to take action, because action against alignment is going to cause friction, and that is going to lead to burnout, and it's actually going to be so counterproductive and slow you down from what your purpose really is. So here's something you can do to get started with this. If something new is stirring in your life right now, if you feel restlessness, if you feel you need to take some action, some momentum, create some momentum, before doing so, sit with it, observe it, listen to yourself and to your inner knowing, what it's telling you. Where is your motivation for doing this thing coming from? Where is it coming from? Does it feel peaceful? Or does it feel like desperate, like you need to act now or you will lose it? Because what's yours can never be lost. So that's not a true divine calling if that's the case, right? So this week, sit with what it is that you want to do and ask yourself some questions. You don't need to act right now. You don't need to move right this instant. It's worthwhile taking the time out and asking these questions first, because that is going to ensure that when you do move forward, you're going to move forward with certainty, with clarity, with alignment, and with belief that you're doing the right thing, not just from fear and ego or whatever else may be subconsciously running the show. Spring brings movement. But wisdom reminds us that not every movement is direction. Sometimes the best response is not immediate action. Sometimes it's simply watching what remains and what remains true. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you enjoy this kind of content, there's lots more to come. I'm Hege, sharing spiritual insight, poetry, music, and lived reflections to help us see more clearly and to live more truthfully together. Till next time.